Today is Monday, August 15th, the first day of the third week of the Every Bit Counts challenge. And this morning when I was at the store, I was grabbing an avocado for dinner tonight, and I liked the price on these, and there were so many that were super ripe. I just went ahead and grabbed 3. So, these are the big Florida avocados. They're a little juicier than the Haas avocados, but they're so big, I consider them a good deal. So I am going to use a half of one for dinner tonight, and then the other 2.5 are going to go in Ziplocs with some lime juice and go in the freezer. And the lime juice keeps them from turning colors. Oh, I don't know if that's going to fit in there. Get a different bowl. I don't think that's going to fit in there, so I'll throw it in here for now. And then just give them a quick dice like this. Sometimes bigger, sometimes smaller. I'm going to mush them up when I take them out of the freezer anyway, so it really doesn't matter on the size. And then I give them a scoop. Try to get them in the bowl. A little toss with some lime juice. The lime juice keeps them from browning. And they are ready to go in the bag. And I'm just using sandwich bags for these. I expect them to not be in there for more than a month. I'm not really worried about it. Alright, I'm going to mix a little lime juice with this. Mash it with a fork. Alright, that's going to be for our dinner tonight. These are going in the freezer. This will be dinner tonight to go with our enchiladas. And we'll call that done. Thanks for joining. Today is day 2 of the third week of the Every Bit Counts challenge. I'm getting ready to go to Aldi tomorrow, so today I want to clean out some of the fresh veggies I have in the fridge. I've got some celery that's definitely seen its prime. I've got a fresh head of celery. Besides that, I've got some big carrots I picked up the other day, and then I've also got some onions, and onions never keep very long for me. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those up. I'm going to throw them on a cookie sheet, flash freeze them, and then I'll bag them up as some Mirepoix for the beginning of some soups and sauces and things like that. So let's get going. Okay, so this is what I have today. I have this celery here. I'll probably do I don't know, probably at least half of it, maybe 3/4 of it. I'll cut some up for my all-day potato salad tomorrow too. Got some of these big, huge carrots I'm going to dice up, and a couple of onions. I'm going to see what it looks like as I'm going here. I'll probably do a little bit of this and a little bit of this and a little bit of this, and I'll keep going around until my pan is fairly full. Then I'm just going to quick flash freeze it. I'm not going to put it in, I'm not going to blanch it first. It's just going to go in Ziplocs. We'll use it up fairly quickly. I'm really just trying to make room in the freezer, room in the refrigerator. So get these out of the way. So I don't know that you really want to watch me dice all this up. I'm sure you know how to do that, so I'll be back. All right, this is what I got. I got my big cookie sheet covered. I did rough cut this time because that's what I like to use in soups. I also diced 1 stalk of celery for my all-day potato salad tomorrow, and I saved all of the carrot peelings, some of the onion peelings, and the celery stems and leaves, and the celery that was questionable in the fridge. I saved what I could out of that, and that all went in here, and I'll use this when I make rabbit broth or chicken broth or turkey broth. I throw that right in there too. I'm going to strain out the bones when I'm finished anyway. This adds a lot of color and a lot of flavor to it. So I think this was a pretty good day. This is all going in the freezer. This is going in the freezer like this, and I'll bag it later when it's frozen. This is going in the fridge for tomorrow. So thanks for joining me. Hi everybody, welcome back to the Wee Garden Homestead. Today is Wednesday. Salty's got some ribs in the smoker, and I've got something going on with that for the Every Bit Counts challenge. That might be, I don't know, probably tomorrow's video. But today I'm actually combining a recipe with my Every Bit Counts challenge. So I have this bag of potatoes. It's about a half a bag of potatoes. And this is why I don't buy potatoes very often. It is full of sprouts. Oh, that one's bad. That one's not even a good potato anymore. It is full of sprouts. It is spoiling. And I'm going to make all-day potato salad. So I'm going to use some of these, but it'll be more than what I need for just Salty and I for dinner, for probably even 2 dinners. Half of this is plenty. So I'm gonna clean the potatoes. I'm gonna peel what I need to. I'm gonna take out the bad spots and the grown spots, and I'm gonna boil all of them. Then I'm gonna put half of them away in the freezer. I'm gonna cool them and toss them with some olive oil and some rosemary and some Italian seasoning and some garlic. And then when I'm ready to eat them, I can just pull them out. They'll already be mostly cooked. I can just pull them out and put them in the oven, and we'll have a side dish. So that's what I'm working on today. I have my boiled potatoes cooled. I did these with my potato salad potatoes, so I did put them in a pan to get them to cool a little bit. I have a Ziploc ready, 8/17/22, roasted potatoes. I'm going to put these in the bag, hopefully without making a mess. Left them on the counter a little bit too long, and some of them started to turn gray from oxidation, but they'll still be fine to eat. Do you want a potato, beautiful? Sorry. You want a potato? No? Okay. She sniffed it. She didn't want it. So I am going to put in some Italian seasoning. I'm a big fan of this seasoning mix. Doesn't matter the brand. Just a little bit in there. Just a little sprinkle. And then I have some fresh rosemary from the garden. Rosemary on roasted potatoes is amazing. A little bit of olive oil. And I am going to just shake that up so everything gets coated. Hopefully mixed well. I did cook these till they were soft. I could put a fork in them, but they weren't mushing. Shake, 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 Sonora, he says. Okay, so now I'm going to squeeze as much air out as I can. I don't want to mush them. I don't want mashed potatoes when I go to recook them. And they are going in the freezer flat because they freeze faster and they're easier to store, just like that. And that is my Every Bit Counts for today. Thanks for joining. So I bought spare ribs for Salty to put on the grill in the smoker. And spare ribs have a lot of extra on them. When you buy St. Louis cut or baby backs, they've already trimmed all this off. That's why you pay much more per pound for them. So I bought spare ribs, and we trimmed, well, Salty did, because I don't do that. He trimmed all of this off 2 racks of ribs and took them down to a St. Louis cut. This is all beautiful meat. There's a couple small bones in here and there. We threw this also in the smoker. And this is now smoked trimmings. Every bit counts, you know. So this is all going to go in the fridge for tonight because it's getting to be too late for me to do anything with it today. But I will be canning beans with it in the next day or so. I find that my smoked pork canned pinto beans make amazing baked beans. And I'll cook these down in the big roaster, and I'll make broth, and I will can black beans with them. I'll look and see what else I have. I know I have pintos because I bought them today to make baked beans, and I have black beans. With the smoked pork broth is amazing. So this is part of my Every Bit Counts challenge for today, even though I really didn't do a whole lot with it, but Salty did, and it is ours, and we are making sure that we don't waste any of this beautiful pork. So thanks for joining. Today for the Every Bit Counts challenge, this is actually a project that's going to probably take a few days, but I'm going to get it started today. These are the pork trimmings off of the ribs that we did yesterday. We put them in the smoker with the ribs, so they are smoked, but they're not really cooked all the way through. They're in my big roaster. I am going to top them with water and let them simmer at least until morning. There are some bones in there. I'm going to let them simmer until morning, and then I'll probably pull some of the meat and put the bones back in and let that go probably, let's see, today's Thursday, probably till Saturday, at which point I will can the broth. That's my every bit for today. It's not much, I know that, but it's been kind of a hectic day that got away from me. So this is what I got going. Today, Friday, for the Every Bit Counts challenge, I have transferred the broth from the smoked pork broth from my big roaster. I have pulled the meat right there, and I'll let that cool and pull it apart and use it in beans. And then I have all of the broth in a pot. These will both go in the refrigerator until tomorrow. The broth, when it cools, all the grease will float to the top and I'll be able to skim it off. And then I will use it for canning beans along with the smoked pork, which I will pull the rest of the bones out of. Some of them have already come out, but not quite all of them. I know, again, it's not much, but I just don't have time to can these today, to work on the beans today. So these will cool a little bit on the counter and then go in the fridge. And then tomorrow I'll reheat the broth and soak the beans and can beans tomorrow. So the end of my week kind of flew apart here on the Every Bit Counts challenge. I had a dog to the vet. I wound up working a day I wasn't planning on. Just a total fly apart. And it wasn't like I could just substitute what I was working on, the big projects, for just a little one to get through the day, because the big one had to be finished. So This is my second. It is Sunday. I really didn't do anything yesterday. This is my second batch of beans in the canner. I did one first thing this morning, and then we went to a birthday party, and now it is almost 6 o'clock, and I have my second load of, this is a load of quarts going in the canner just now. When they're finished, I will tell you all about what I did. Oh, and I still have a whole bunch of broth that I think I'm going to wind up canning in the morning. So, that'll be my first day of week 4, I guess. Alrighty, so here is where I finished off week 3 of the Every Bit Counts challenge. In the back I have 8 pints of black beans in smoked pork broth, and in the front I have 8 pint and a halves of smoked pork and beans. I put about a half a cup of pulled smoked pork in the bottom. I topped it off with beans. I topped it off with the smoked pork broth and debubbled and canned them. I canned both batches according to the National Center for Home Food Preservation guidelines. The pints were done at an hour and 15 minutes, and the pint and a halves were done at an hour and a half. That's it for me for week 3 for the Every Bit Counts challenge. I will be starting week 4 with the leftover smoked pork broth that I still have. I'm just going to can it as it is. I just don't have time to do another load of beans. Thanks for joining.